Research has shown again and again that being active is the best way to feel better every day and add life to our years. Stay tuned to find out how adults over 50 can stay healthy and fit as they get older.
Welcome to The Better Part, a program that encompasses a diverse spectrum of topics important to our community, which we hope will both inform and entertain you. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the program.
Hello, I'm Grace Trafton. Today I'd like to introduce Pauline DeLange, the Health Promotion Coordinator of Healthy Steps, a program to promote health for adults 50 and over, sponsored by the Health Trust in partnership with Council on Aging, Silicon Valley. Pauline holds a master's degree in gerontology and has recently done research on stress and aging with caregivers through UC San Francisco. Welcome, Pauline, to The Better Part. Can you tell us what is the goal of Healthy Steps program?
Thank you, Grace. So the goal of Healthy Steps is to motivate adults 50 and older to stay active and engaged, as well as connect them to local, affordable, and free resources for staying active.
And why was Healthy Steps produced?
So there's many reasons. 11% of those who live in Santa Clara County are 65 and older right now, and by 2030 that will go up to 22%. So 1 in 5 people will be 65 and older. And we know that as we get older, we start to experience physical changes. We lose bone density, we lose muscle mass, our balance starts to decline. So 1 in 3 adults 65 and older falls each year, and 1/2 of those in skilled nursing are there because of a fall. Also, we start to acquire chronic conditions. 80% of adults 65 and older have at least one chronic condition, like high blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis. But we also know that many of these conditions, as you said, can be avoided by staying active. Healthy Steps connects adults with resources including community centers, warm water swimming pools, health clinics, and volunteer opportunities, adult education. So a study conducted by AARP showed that even though 2/3 of adults know that staying active is the best thing they can do for their health, only less than 1/3 are actually staying up to the CDC standards for physical activity, which is 30 minutes 5 days a week. So Healthy Steps hopes to keep adults active and engaged so that they can stay healthy both today and through the end of their life.
Well, there seems to be a stereotype of aging in the media and in our culture in general. The popular media has taught us to think of older adults as frail, weak, and even handicapped. But the message you're giving is that those who are proactive about their health can break the stereotype by staying active and fit, and participating in healthy eating habits and staying socially and mentally engaged. Can you tell us more specifically some of the benefits of physical activity?
Yeah, there's many benefits to staying active. So mentally, staying active will lift our mood. It helps to release serotonin and endorphins. It will also increase our energy, keep our mind sharp, help us to sleep better, recover more quickly from a stroke. It also helps us to maintain mobility and reduce pain in the joints, preventing arthritis, as well as preventing many chronic conditions or helping us to manage our conditions. It's been shown to prevent osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, and many types of cancer.
So there's lots and lots of benefits, it seems. So how was the Healthy Steps Guidebook produced?
So the Healthy Steps Guidebook was made by the Health Trust together with UC Berkeley's Health Research for Action team and a team of advisors from all over Santa Clara County.
So how about giving us a general introduction to the guidebook?
Okay, so the guidebook is about 75 pages. and is very practical and easy to read. All of the pictures were taken locally in Santa Clara County, and there's tips to incorporate into every day, as well as phone numbers for local resources. So the guidebook shares information about all the community and senior centers in Santa Clara County, including whether they have a pool or a lunch program, they have aerobics classes, stretching classes, walking groups, Tai Chi, and yoga. It also lists the adult education course offerings. There could be ceramics or Spanish classes. So the idea is to figure out what people enjoy, because each of us has a different activity we might enjoy more. It also lists some resources for volunteering your time. In specific, there is RSVP, Retired Senior Volunteer Program, and Volunteer Match are two programs that will look at your background experience and your skills and interests and connect you with volunteer opportunities they think might be a good fit for you. So there's pictures and easy explanations for exercises to practice at home, including strength building, warm-up, and balance exercises. There's also information on fall prevention, which I mentioned is so important. So there's 5 main tips for preventing falls, the most important of which is exercise, so strength building and balance exercises. There's also a home safety checklist in the Healthy Steps guidebook with tips that you can take home, for example, making adjustments in the bathroom because it can be a slippery place with sharp edges, and adding a grab rail perhaps to the shower. There's also a list of local nonprofits and volunteer programs that can make these home safety adjustments for free, like Rebuilding Together or the Heart of the Valley volunteer program. And like I said, these services, they're either volunteer or income-based. There's also tips in the Healthy Steps guidebook on nutrition and common health concerns like stress or sleep issues, diabetes, arthritis, and high blood pressure. For example, the Health Trust offers a free 6-week workshop for tips for managing our own chronic conditions. Curriculum was developed by Stanford, and each workshop is 3 hours long. They're offered all over the county and in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese.
Wonderful.
So there's also a resource section in the back of the guidebook, which is 10 pages, and connects adults with resources for health and wellness. One of the ones I'd really like to highlight is Council on Aging Silicon Valley. They are our state-designated resource for seniors, and when you call their main phone line, you get what's called their information and assistance line, and they have professionals who can tell you all about eligibility criteria and any kind of resource in the county for your need, including health insurance counseling, information about finances, housing options, health clinics, and more. There's also a list of all the swimming pools in the county. Some great ones are the Timpani Center in San Jose is a warm water pool, and it's run together with San Jose State University. So they have physical therapists, occupational therapists, and nursing students there to help out, which is pretty neat. There's also Abilities United in Palo Alto, and they offer scholarships for their water aerobics classes, which are developed by the Arthritis Foundation. There's also a list, for example, a phone number for finding local food and nutrition programs. There's a program through Second Harvest Food Bank called Brown Bag, and there's 41 sites throughout the county where adults can pick up a free grocery bag full of food, and much of the food is fresh produce, and the only criteria is that you are 55 and older. There's also senior nutrition programs offered throughout the county where you can receive a hot meal for either $2 or $5 and sometimes even free, and that's a great way to stay socially connected as well.
Definitely.
And then there's also resources for mental health. For example, the Friendship Line is a phone number you can call to speak to someone at any time. There's resources for alcohol and drug and substance abuse disorders. as well as local health clinics that accept people without insurance, and caregiving support resources. Some key caregiving resources include, once again, Council on Aging. They have our in-home support services, which is federally funded caregivers. There's also the Alzheimer's Association and Family Caregiving Alliance.
That's a really comprehensive list. Now, you had mentioned exercises. Can you share some of those exercises that's in the guidebook and give us a brief demonstration?
I mentioned the exercises in the Healthy Steps guidebook. So Beverly, let's begin by sitting up tall. This exercise is called Sit Tall or Stand Tall, but we'll demonstrate the seated alternative by uncrossing your legs and bringing your knees directly over your ankles. And I like to take one deep inhale, roll the shoulders up and forward, and exhale, roll them down and back, sitting up tall. And just imagine the crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And then just release your shoulders down. And the next exercise is deep breathing. So inhale deeply through the nose as you press the belly out. And then exhale through the mouth as you draw the belly back into the spine. Exhaling slightly longer than the inhale. And inhale again through the nose, push the belly out. And exhale through the mouth, draw the belly in. And you can continue to practice deep breathing. Our breath is so important. We say, what's the big deal? We're born breathing, right? But actually, the average person by age 75 has lost 50% of their oxygen process. And there's a muscle right below the lungs called the diaphragm. When we practice deep breathing, we strengthen this muscle and increase the oxygenation to our lungs, our toes, our fingertips, and the brain, increasing our energy, helping us to think more clearly, and also nourishing the body with fresh oxygen and nutrients. The next exercise is one of the warm-up exercises in the guidebook. It's called Reach and Pick. So as you inhale, you'll extend your left hand up towards the ceiling, reaching up as tall as you can through the fingertips, and then exhale as though you're picking a fruit, drawing the arm back down. And continue on the opposite side. Inhale the right hand up, stretch as tall as you can, and exhale, drop the arm back down. Inhale again on the left hand, this time reaching in different directions. I like to extend over the midline for a nice side stretch. And exhale, release. Inhale the right hand up, reaching in different directions as tall as you can. And exhale, release. You can repeat this 8 to 12 times. And it's so important to warm up the body before we begin activity to get the blood flowing to the muscles and joints. The next exercise can also be done seated, is called the one leg lift. So you'll simply lift your right foot up off the floor. Doesn't matter how high the leg is. And here we're engaging the muscles of the quadriceps and the core to help improve your balance, also preventing falls. And you hold for 10 seconds. I think we're on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then switch sides. So to make this more challenging, you sit closer to the edge of your chair, or to make it easier, you sit farther back. And once again, it doesn't matter how high your leg is off the floor. So this is an easy exercise to do while you're on the phone or watching TV, thinking about incorporating it into every day. Research has shown that practicing exercises for balance can help to reduce or to prevent or reduce the injury of falls. The next exercise can be done standing. So you'll stand up behind a chair or countertop. If you prefer to remain seated, the one leg lift is a great alternative. So when you feel comfortable with both hands on a counter or chair, you'll lift one foot up off the floor, bending at the knee. Once again, this is for balance. And if you would like to challenge yourself, you could use just one hand or your fingertips or no hands, but it's important to feel comfortable where you're at. It's also good to challenge yourself because your balance will improve over time. And you'll hold for 10 seconds, so 9, 10, and then switch sides. This is a nice exercise to do after brushing your teeth in the morning. Just place your hands on the counter or your fingertips and think about doing it 3 times on each leg, maybe 2 or 3 days a week after brushing your teeth. And you can switch sides again. For balance exercises, there's actually no need to warm up. You just need to pay attention. So you could even practice while you're in line at the grocery store. You can take a seat again. So we mentioned 2 types of exercise now, was warming up and flexibility, balance, and the third type of exercise is aerobics, which includes any type of activity that gets your heart rate up, like walking or swimming or biking or dancing is a great activity. And the fourth type of exercise is flexibility. So you'll start off by inhaling your arms up to a cactus position, then bending at the elbows. Your arms will be at a 90-degree angle. Reach your hands straight up, like a cactus. Okay, and as you inhale now, draw your elbows up and back together, extending your chest forward and up. And you hold each stretch for 15 to 30 seconds, allowing the muscles to release and open up. So try keeping your elbows a little bit higher in line with the shoulders and bring your hands back over the elbows. And then release, letting go, dropping the hands back down. It's important to continue to breathe as you're holding the stretch. So the recommendation is to get 30 minutes of exercise, all 4 types of exercise: warm-up, strength building, flexibility, and balance, and aerobics. 30 minutes, 5 days a week. It's important to set goals for yourself, perhaps keeping track in your calendar and letting your friend or an accountability partner know that you've set these goals, perhaps having a partner to exercise with. And it's also important to challenge yourself, have fun, be social, and try exciting new things.
How are you distributing the guidebooks, and how can others get involved?
So, the Health Trust printed 25,000 guidebooks. 7,000 of them are in Spanish, and they partnered together with Council on Aging Silicon Valley in the distribution, in engaging the community in these resources. So there's 2 main components. The first is our volunteer health champions, which are involved in 4 different ways. Health champions are trained to present the material on healthy steps in 15, 30, or 60-minute presentations. So we try not to just hand out the guidebooks, because then people take them home, put them on their coffee table, and they collect dust. So we try to engage them in all it has to offer. We also go to community events like food bank programs or health fairs and distribute the guides one-on-one to people through about 2-minute conversations. There's a team of health champions, and they're called our community partnerships team, and they do a lot of networking with libraries, faith communities, community centers, and senior living communities, for example, and set up partnerships so we can give the guides to their clients. There's also a group of health champions that are helping in the office, and some help from home. About a month after people receive the guidebook, we also call to follow up with them and check in to see if it's been useful for them and help to connect them to relevant resources they might have skipped over. So that's another thing that our volunteers help with, and we meet together as a team about once a month to discuss how our outreach has been going and how we can improve. The second main component of the Healthy Steps dissemination is our partners, of course. And our community partners work together with us in 3 ways. They either host one of our presentations of 15, 30, or 60 minutes. They invite us to their community events, or we set up a time to meet with either one of their staff or at an entire staff meeting, and we train them to introduce the main sections of the guidebook, as well as have the recipient fill out a short 6-question evaluation form.
Now, you had mentioned that the Healthy Steps book is available in Spanish. Is it also available in other languages?
It's a great question. We live in a very diverse county.
Yes, we do.
So a team of us have worked on condensing the information in the guidebook into a 4-page handout, including resources that are relevant to monolingual speaking older adults. And right now we are almost completed finishing the translation to Chinese, and then in the future we hope to translate to Vietnamese, Tagalog, and Russian, as well as to have volunteers who can present in those languages.
Pauline, tell us a little bit more about your background.
Okay, so I spent about 4 years working in integrative and nutritional medicine, and I've also been a registered yoga teacher for almost 3 years now, so I'm very passionate about health and wellness. After I received my master's in gerontology, I worked together with a project called Protecting Our Elders. It is a project through the Santa Clara County Mental Health Department. It was community organizing with faith communities to raise awareness about elder abuse and neglect. And I really saw that this model of working together in the community and raising awareness was able to make a powerful impact. And so when I heard about the Healthy Steps project at the Health Trust, I felt like it was the perfect fit for me to use my passion and my interests and my background to make a positive difference.
What an impressive background you have. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Health Trust organization in general?
Yeah, so the Health Trust is a local nonprofit whose mission is to make Silicon Valley the healthiest region in the nation, a lofty goal. And they have 3 main initiatives: healthy living, healthy communities, and healthy aging. They do a lot of grant writing, providing grants to projects, as well as advocacy, and they, for example, have dental clinics for low-income families and children. They also have the chronic disease self-management classes and AIDS services. They're the largest provider of non-medical services to AIDS and HIV clients in our county. They also have many other services like planting organic gardens in elementary schools and health education for families, Meals on Wheels, and the Healthy Steps program.
Great. And how about the Council on Aging? I know the Council on Aging is a sponsor of this Healthy Steps program.
Mm-hmm. So Council on Aging Silicon Valley is what is called our county's AAA, Area Agency on Aging, and it is funded through the Older Americans Act, which is federal money. There are 33 AAAs in California, and Council on Aging, they offer their information and assistance hotline, as well as employment training and placement, in-home supportive services, health insurance, counseling, and more.
How long is this program being funded?
The funding for Healthy Steps goes for 2 years. By the end of the first year, we had distributed exactly 10,000 guidebooks, and the end of the second year is August 31st, 2012.
Great. So we have another year to go.
Yes.
And if people are interested in participating in this program, either as a health champion or as a community partner, what can they do to get in touch with you?
So the best contact is myself, Pauline DeLang. My phone number is 408-879-4105. And the website is healthtrust.org, and you search for Healthy Steps.
Is there anything else you would like us to know?
2/3 of adults know that staying active is the key to healthy aging, but there's always a barrier for each of us. We feel we're too tired, or that exercise is boring, or we're not aware of community resources. We might have a health condition that is stopping us, and the Healthy Steps guidebook really shares information and resources that can help address each of these barriers.
As you had mentioned, falls are a major problem for older adults. Can you talk about prevention of falling a little bit more?
So there's 5 main ways to prevent falls. I mentioned exercise and home safety. Also, having our vision checked every year is very important, so we can see the small cracks in the sidewalk and small trip hazards such as that. Also, wearing comfortable shoes that fit well and have a good grip on the sole. And also very important is making sure that we are not experiencing side effects from medications. Many medications can make us feel tired or dizzy and more likely to fall. And what I recommend is to take in a bag of all your medications to your physician or doctor and have them check over and talk to them about symptoms you may be experiencing. And an alternative is also to go to your local pharmacy like CVS or Walgreens and talk to the pharmacist about your medications. And they are just as qualified to find alternative medications or to talk about dosage.
That's really, really good advice and very important advice. And I think as far as fall prevention is concerned, I had read that 80% of falls are caused by weak muscles and lack of balance. So that goes back to what you were saying about keeping active and fit. That's how we can prevent falls. Mm-hmm. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Pauline, for being with us. I'm sure the audience will find this information very, very informative.
Thank you, Grace. It's a privilege to be here, and I really hope that the information I shared in the Healthy Steps program can be useful for those who are watching.